Martin.
Had an ejector seat.
He was
And an ejector seat.
He was the yuppie superhero, basically. He was the yuppie superhero.
Well, yeah, but who didn't like Desmond Llewellys? I mean, he was an awesome Q. He was almost something that was my favorite part of the whole James Bond movie was when James had to go talk to Q.
I don't believe yuppies didn't exist, number one, in the 60s and shit. Yeah, they were rich at feet folk, but I'm talking about my mom, who was far from that as a little girl when she read the books.
Dude, everybody wore suits back then. I mean, well, except unless you were.
He was the
dirty,
hero
dirty
that could take you away to fabulous locations and solve the thing with his mind.
You mean
and
Kentucky?
Throw shit away. Well, yeah, fuck that. Although Goldfinger, they come back. They bring it back.
Goldfinger, they brought him to Kentucky, kids, and he drove a Corvette.
But it's just that escapism that was sorely missed, and the cool, Britain finally got to be the cool guy. After so many years of being Nigel Pennythorpe and shit, they finally got to be the fucking ass kicker based off of maybe Christopher Lee? Rumor has it.
Well, Christopher Lee also played the man with the golden gun, dude. He's my favorite villain. He's my favorite Bond villain.
It's the third nipple, isn't it?
It's the third nipple. You're damn right it's the third nipple.
Because of that movie, I'm a big mark for mirror gags with guns and shit. From Dolph Lundgren's The Punisher, a little bit of Skyfall, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It works for me. I like it. But that brings the larger point. That's my favorite Bond, and I don't have anybody else's bring word. Amy, you got a favorite? You'd fuck them all? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's fucking James Bond, man.
Why she wouldn't have a choice. Just remember, 50 no's and a yes is still a yes.
That's right. Don't fuck James Bond, kids. It'll get you killed. Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
I just say that 23 times over.
The only one that survived was the Chinese chick from The World's Not Enough.
Ugh, I hate that movie.
It's rough.
Oh, yeah, the whatever. So
Yeah,
I think
Chinese
Denise Richards lived, didn't she?
Oh,
she had
yeah, she did.
Denise
She
Richards
lived too. She lived too.
She fucking lived. Andrew's got like spite. But that brings in the larger point. James Bond's suave and he gets all the pussy and he takes fabulous locales and he's a cool British guy, which is hard to find. But he's a fucking dog shit spy. Every film.
He really is. Every time he gets caught. Every single time. And the thing is they know he's coming. Every single time. He is not a covert agent. He's just an agent.
Right. I'm gonna hand it
There's
off.
nothing covert
They still
about him.
can't stop it.
Yeah. So Andrew just watched most of them, all of them.
I just sat down and watched them all back to back.
That's fucked up. So I'm gonna lay it down, and then you can play off this riff. Every film is based off the fact that he has a plan, and then he just fucks it up, and then he just scrambles about and uses his gadgets, and then fucks it up anyway. And wins because he's really lucky. That's what I'm getting out of it. He's died several times. It's a hobby, yeah. But I'm just saying, for a spy, he's terrible at being covert. What say you? After all the films, what you got?
I mean, that's what I love about the Daniel Craig ones. They really address how arrogant he is and how reckless he is. And that's what's good about those movies, is that it points out all that stuff, all that crap in the originals that, and after 20 films like of the same old shit over and over again, the Daniel Craig movies are a blessing. They're such a blessing, and all three of them are so different, and they're all so good. And I will argue with people to the death about Quantum of Solace. It's dark, it's brooding, and yet his soul has never been more like spilled onto the screen than in that movie. Period. Damn end.
Oh, I saw like half of
Oh, especially when he tells M to go fuck herself, essentially.
Oh yeah, I mean he's told him to go fuck
say.
themselves like multiple times.
Oh, I can't do it. Okay.
I love
It's
Dame
almost a spoiler.
Judy Dench's M though.
Yeah, she's
Dame Judy Dench is.
And she brought back the revival because after Timothy Dalton fucked up.
Not Timothy Dalton. You think Pierce Brosnan?
I'm
right?
thinking Timothy
You're
Dalton.
thinking
I don't
Timothy
think
Dalton?
Timothy Dalton did not fuck up.
No, but
It was just that time period. You know, AIDS was a big thing, and people just wrote. It had a lot to do with it. It completely desexed the franchise. Like License to Kill, like there wasn't any sex in it because of the AIDS scare.
Freddie Mercury. Boom. Not that he, like,
But he's kind of a god though.
Yeah.
He's kind of
kinda
above.
is.
He's kind of above disease.
True. He was pretty much the tits. But I'm just saying. So okay, so they neutered the franchise, not to be politically correct.
They neutered the franchise and they left it for a few years for people to just kind of get over it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Dame
Oh,
Judi
James.
Dench. Yes. Dame was it? Jame Duty Dench. Ugh, fart. Fuck that. Yeah. No, Dame Judi Dench. Boom. Arion from fucking Riddick. No, her debut was the big rebirth after the AIDS killed James Bond. Then by your logic and what was his sound. And the fact that when Pierce Brosnan came back, it was a complete reboot except for Desmond, what's his nuts, the Q branch dude. He remained, and that was it.
Desmond Llewellyn.
Yeah, we start with M is female. Everyone's like, "Fuck, dude," and Pierce Brosnan is.
And GoldenEye was a good restart. I mean,
GoldenEye.
yeah, it's a really strong Bond movie.
Who that Russian chick
And
was that played what's her name? But I want to see more of her.
Hey.
No.
Oh,
the Russian
Xenia?
actor. Yeah, Xenia. Oh.
Xenia.
No.
Not
Oh,
Natalia.
you mean Natalia?
Yes, I wanted.
You know why? Because she's attracted to bullets. Because if you've ever played the fucking video game, bitch can't stay out of the fucking firefight.
It's true. He's absolutely right. You cannot
Defend Natalia.
I wish I could. I really wish I could.
Just runs off and gets put in the back. Like shit, man. I had the 2 RCP 90s and shit. I'm like, fuck all of you. But they just keep coming, and she keeps running towards them. Yeah, she was all right, but Xenia on the top, man. Too many. I don't usually think about fictional characters.
Famke Janssen, we love you.
But she's one of them. So when I have my little sexcapades, like, what's something I need to do? The Xenia on the top challenge is always on the list. Sorry, Ma. Your son likes getting squeezed between the legs of beautiful women, or okay women, animals, mammals,
psychotic, beautiful women,
living or dead. A can of soup. Xenia, I can't breathe. Because when I was like 10 or 9.
Xenia, darling, I can't breathe.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, that's a hell of a way to go, but never. Like, I got my escape plan and shit, and I always do the test like, no, and then we keep fucking. I do the Ultimate Warrior breakout, and then I keep fucking. Because she learned her lesson. You don't need to waste not want. It's fucking Famke Janssen. We keep going. And this is going to try and kill me again later, but I don't care. Throw her on a tree, that worked. Talk about a tight squeeze. I never, as much as an action hero, I wanted to be at like 9 and shit. I never wanted to be James Bond.
Oh, guys. Okay, let me throw this one at you. We were talking movies, all right? Let me throw this one at you. James Bond Jr., the cartoon show.
Oh.
James Bond Jr., Jaws, his wife. No, I had the action figure that had the little... He had a gun molded in his hand.
Yeah, and he
squeezes
squeezed off the case. Yeah,
he'd fling it off. It was disguised as a briefcase.
Yeah,
he'd squeeze his little arm and he'd throw the briefcase at you. And
yeah,
he'd have like a RoboCop gun almost. Cause
it was seriously. It was like a fucking Desert Eagle.
That show sucks.
It did.
It was like Highlander the cartoon, but less decapitation.
Okay, and his little adventure guy was not named Q. His name was IQ.
Oh right. Ew.
Blonde hair going out to here, kind of looked like a young Doc Brown.
Why are we streaming this right now?
Why are we streaming?
Why aren't we streaming this right now?
Streaming what?
James Bond Jr.
Is it on Netflix?
No, it's not.
I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. Come now.
You can find Brave Star on Hulu. I mean, let's face it. Brave Star, Silverhawks.
We don't need to watch.
On
We don't need to watch Brave Star though.
I get that for free on my broke ass TV, man. I'm not streaming that. I got wrestling games to beat both of you at. You got controllers. Sweet. That'll be a little after hours gig for all you kids that want to hear that. That'll be sad. So James Bond's terrible, and your summation is yes, but we love it anyway?
What do you mean James Bond's terrible?
He's terrible at his job. That's the thing. He's a spy. But fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger did more espionage and Total Recall inadvertently than he ever fucking does. He puts... You put a tracking device down. Big deal. You listen in. Holy shit. You take a parachute in and fly. Most of that shit's just waxing his own ego, but that's the point of the character, I guess.
Now, he did disguise himself as an Asian man in You Only Live Twice.
I love that poster. Where he's getting washed down by like 7 geishas. Like, fuck yeah. Sean Connery gets it. How is he not your favorite Bond? He's getting scrubbed down by 7 chicks. Put anyone's head on that poster. Put my own head on it.
Me and some friends actually got to talking because we.
Were you
I don't know.
disguised as
We
Asian
went
then?
No, we always wanted to know. Okay, well, every so many movies, James goes from like one actor to a different actor. So we were trying to figure out. Okay, why is that? We came up with this, and this is just our little theory. Whatever, take it or leave it, piss on it, shit on it, whatever you want to. But here's what we thought of. Okay, 007 is attached to the name James Bond. Essentially, your identity gets erased. You have to meet a certain amount of credentials and skills in order to actually be brought to 007 status. Like you have to have a certain sort of psych profile. You have to have a certain sort of skill set, like driving, skiing, gambling, for instance. Like you have to be predisposition to this sort of thing. Maybe you're not the best spy in the entire world, but by God, you're reliable. You get the job done despite the fact that everything seems to blow up in your face. You're resourceful, you're quick on your feet, you're quick-witted, But I would think that every 00 agent, their identity would be erased, just for to save their who they were and any of their relatives or anything.
Just like Men in Black.
I guess so. Sure, why not? Or any other of the NSA agents. I mean.
No such agency. MI6 in Britain, where this is going on, but yes, the National Security Agency doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it does.
What? Not on this stream, it sure as fuck does. I don't know what you're talking about. I was hypnotized. Beep, doop, boop. No, but...
That was actually the National Security Agency. You can listen to us right now if they're really
yes.
They monitor all streaming in the country. It's amazing. I watched this documentary on Netflix about it. It was really fun.
Disgusting. It's interesting you say that it might be a code name, because that's an bandied about theory that it would only stand to reason, because then everything is canon, and we like that idea. We like our bonds to count, considering there's 23 of them.
I mean, you do know, like, the story behind why George Lazenby, like, what the reason George Lazenby took over.
No, please regale us.
Well, I mean, the whole idea was, now that Sean Connery was, done with the franchise, he didn't want to do anymore.
Pretty much handed to him by Jaws. I mean, he's getting
You're talking Roger Moore. That's years later.
No, not Moonraker. What was Connery's last film?
Sean Connery's last one?
Yeah,
that would be, well, for MGM, it was Diamonds Are Forever. And then he went to another studio and did Never Say Never Again.
Lauren Daver here.
Yay!
We're discussing James Bond.
But the whole idea that they wrote for the original script for On Her Majesty's Secret Service, because, James Bond and You Only Live Twice, he had met Blofeld. Blofeld had seen his face, and the whole idea was that Bond got plastic surgery so that Blofeld would not recognize him when he went again. But then complications abound making On Her Majesty's Secret Service. They end up writing it out, and of course it didn't make any damn sense whatsoever.
So basically what you're saying is the studio went, no, we don't like this whole thing about him getting plastic surgery. It's not going to go well with the fans or whatever. Is that what you're saying?
I can't remember the...
When they filmed it, they left it on the editing floor if they even did film it. And basically, like you said...
I think they did some rewrites on the script and some reshoots, and it just ended up cutting it out, which makes You Only Live Twice make no sense whatsoever. Now, if you just completely disregarded that movie and just picked it up after Thunderball, I mean, it could flow well as its own movie. And it certainly has some strong points, but I mean, I think we can all agree.
You actually get to see James Bond on the slopes. I mean, he was a madman in that movie. We're talking about Secret Service.
No, we're talking about Her Majesty's Secret Service, and that ambitious mess. Chris Nolan.
He stole all that for Inception, man. You could see it.
Oh, well.
He badly wants to make it.
I mean, I want him to make it.
He's bad with threes.
Dave, we're talking Bond.
Do you got anything for Bond? Now you do, you motherfucker. Oh my God, there's a plate of cookies here. Damn it. Thank you. There's chocolate chips everywhere.
And I still
When Laura shows up, she's rife with